This is Energize Radio.
Energize Radio.
Your direct introduction to amazing radio people who do what you do and win. Advice, ideas, strategies to help you help your clients and grow your career.
Energize Radio.
Let's get energized. Here's John Cole.
Welcome to another edition of Energize Radio. We are talking with some of the finest radio sales reps from across North America to give you ideas that when you're out selling, you can pick a little idea and use it today or tomorrow when you're out there in the field working in this wonderful industry of radio. Today, one of my favorite people on the planet, Dave Thomson, is with us from St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada. Dave works for me at 94.1 My FM. Dave, it's great to not only chat with you as we usually do, but an honor to have you as part of this series because out of all the reps we've spoken to, every time I hear great ideas being shared, I think, oh, we got to have Dave on. So I'm glad you're here.
And I very much appreciate you having me, John. I'm looking forward to chatting, and hopefully other account executives will get some great information.
Well, I want to start with something that I've noticed you do over the years, which is you're a phenomenal planner. You do a really good job when it comes to time management and planning out your week. So for you, what's the most important way that you start your day?
Well, of course, radio sales isn't a 9-to-5 job. At least I don't think so. I start my day early. I like to get into the office early. When I do get into the office, I already have my day planned, my meetings planned, my ideas for my clients. But for the first hour and a half, so that I can concentrate on sales throughout the day, is I clear up any traffic, any copy, scripts that have to be done. And then that way it's enabling me to concentrate on the meetings I have ahead.
And so what time would you say you're out actually talking to customers?
Now, I have one particular customer that we meet at 6:15 a.m. every Tuesday morning. Now that is a little extended to what I normally do, but I do have clients that like to meet at 7:30, others that are at 8. So basically what I'm doing is trying to get into the office for 6:30 just to get my full day started.
Now, I know one of the secrets to your success, and we talk about it in our company all the time, is you actually set an agenda when you go to see your customers. Talk a little bit about that process, why you do it, and how you feel it helps you.
It really helps because that way I'm organized in terms of how I want the conversation to go with the client. The client, I have my file open. They can see what my questions are that I'm going to be asking. They're very interested when they see that type of thing as well. It just makes a meeting go very smooth. The client knows that they gather that I'm organized, which is good for them. They like to see that. And so that's something I've been doing for the past 40 years.
So when you send this agenda in, like, just maybe describe what it looks like for someone who hasn't seen it.
It's basically just right here on a foolscap piece of paper, and I have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the things I want to talk about. Again, it's just a reminder so that I don't miss anything. I'm actually going to give you another good example from a meeting I had today with a client. And I know it looks kind of a little bit scribbly, but I'm a paper guy, have been all my life. And that's what it looks like right there. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
And but I'm very comfortable doing it that way. I'm not into with all our technology today, even with our phones, I do not schedule meetings on my phone, things like that, because I've heard horror stories of the timer not going off, the reminder not going off, and then a meeting is missed.
Well, look, I like the fact that you have that agenda and the client can see it because it sends a clear-cut message, obviously, that you're organized, but also that you're not going to waste their time.
Correct. That's right. And when I'm going into that meeting, the client knows that, hey, we're there to talk about his business, and I try not to keep them too long. They have a lot of things. They have a busy day. They have a lot of things to do, and we just go about our business.
So when you're making your sales calls, I mean, obviously anyone who's been doing it as long as you have or I have, you sometimes fall into a rhythm where you have questions that you go to and you ask your clients because you know those are the questions that uncover the gems for creative or ideas or schedules. For you, when you're talking with your customers, is there a question that you always try and ask when you're making a sales call?
If it's a cold call I'm making, the first question I'm asking is the business owner or the decision maker there. If it's a preset sales meeting, I'm prepared in terms of the first question I ask, I guess, is, do you have a budget in mind? Mm-hmm. And that's a very important question. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking that question. Depends on, you're trying to find out what type of campaign the customer is looking at. Is he looking at doing a 2-week campaign? Is he looking at doing a 3-month-long campaign? Those things obviously are very important. And if I can make them feel comfortable by asking that question, it just helps, it helps both of us.
Well, it gives you a really good starting point for sure. Once you're talking to your customers and you're actually on a sales call where you've got an idea and you want the customer to join us, you can see that we have an opportunity to help them. How do you know? Because there's a lot of reps that maybe are new to radio, don't have your experience, or maybe aren't as comfortable as you. How do you know when a prospect is ready to jump on board? Is there something you watch for or a question you ask where it just solidifies your confidence that they're ready to roll with a campaign?
Actually, John, as soon as they agree to the meeting, I'm excited. I asked a few questions prior to the sit-down meeting, whether it was on the phone or via email. And then what I do is when I go to that meeting, I create excitement. Even during the pandemic, I found it a little tougher with doing sales over the phone or via Zoom, things like that, because it's just not giving me the opportunity to create the excitement that I like to do in person. And I can honestly say 90% of the time, if I'm able to do that in person, that client is going to purchase.
Well, and I love how you frame that in the sense, because a lot of us forget that when we go to see a customer, when they actually say, yeah, I'd love for you to come and see me, and they accept an appointment, that is the very first buying sign that they're interested in the product, or they're interested in the opportunity, or they're interested in at least hearing what you have to say. And sometimes I think reps don't go in with that enthusiasm to understand that here's a customer that actually is engaged and they want, not necessarily a show, but they want the best of what I have to offer because they're interested, and that interest is certainly key.
Absolutely. And again, if you're generating and showing the excitement to the client, they get feeling the same way. And once you have also brought them the idea of what your thoughts are and what you can do for them, it's usually a very good result from that meeting.
Dave's a guy that when he has a customer, they end up being raving fans of him and the radio station and the work that he does. He's like a musician. He knows how to take the client and put them with the right place on the radio station. It's wonderful. And Dave, in all the times you've talked to customers, and I know you have a lot of long-term customers, what's something you've learned from one of your customers about either what radio does for them or things you've done for them that have been helpful, that if another rep heard it, it would be valuable?
Well, actually, really, John, the most important thing to me and what I've done and what I've learned, and believe me, I learn something from a client every single day that I'm out seeing them. But the most important thing is letting them talk. Business owners, they love to talk about their business, and you just have to learn to listen. Don't interrupt until they're finished. Once you've let them finish talking, then of course that's your in right there to say, hey, beautiful, this is why I brought this idea, and this is what I think we can do. The big thing is, though, you'll learn everything you need to know about their business if you listen. And that I can't stress that enough.
You know, it's funny. We talk to a lot of reps in this series, and that is certainly a bullet point that comes up time and time again. So for any new reps that are watching, you know, that is really a key, is make sure you're listening, you're taking notes, and of course, all that information they give you, it's just so powerful when it comes to schedules, closing the sales, and of course, the creative. Dave, I want to get you back selling because that's important to me. So give us one thing that any rep, whether they're a senior rep, a junior rep, they just started today, what's one thing that a rep could do today to have a better selling plan for tomorrow?
You have to be organized, John. For example, right now, it is 3:45 in the afternoon. I'm clearing up some paperwork, copy, etc. But before I leave here, I have 3 meetings scheduled for tomorrow. Before I leave here, I will be prepared for each and every one, so that all I have to do when I come in the office tomorrow morning is grab the files, do another quick review, and then head out on those calls.
I think that being prepared is so key, because you've probably seen it over the years. I know I've seen it lots, where reps come in and they start their day by trying to figure out what their day is going to be. And as you just said, if you can start your day already running, already prepared, already with calls in mind and ideas to present, not only do you probably sleep better, because you're probably always so excited to get to work because you want to get out there and share those ideas.
I've been fortunate enough to be with you for 10 years now, John, and I still get up every morning and I'm excited about going to work. And what I try to do, or not try to do, I think on every call I go out on, these clients recognize that. They see that. I'm excited. I want to help them. And the only way you can do that is by being prepared for when you for the next day for your meetings.
Great advice from Dave Thomson, of course, St. Thomas, Ontario, 94.1 My FM. Dave, we appreciate you joining us here on Energize Radio.
And really appreciate being invited, John. Thank you again, and all the best to everyone out there.